Hello, everyone. Welcome to this module on software products. As a product manager, most likely you will end up with managing a software product or a portion of a software product. Now, it's important to understand how software as a service, that is SaaS, SaaS, operates within the industry and how do we manage products within the SaaS range. The other aspect, which we need to delve into deeper in this particular module, is that of AI. How artificial intelligence is rapidly changing the game. Even while I'm shooting this video, the way that AI agents are changing how SaaS products will be perceived in the near future is something that we are watching very closely. So it's an exciting time to be a product manager, but also an evolving time where we will have to adapt some of our methodologies that have come from the past, but adapt it to how artificial intelligence is also taking over in terms of AI agents and many other things. So let's go into a little bit of SaaS products. Now, before we go into SaaS products, a little bit of a context of the past. This is what I call as the old guard of software products. Initially, you had your machines or laptops or whatever machines that you had, desktop machines. They came and they had a single software license which you would basically download. So whether it was like MS Office or Photoshop, this is the pre-cloud era. It was basically like a one-time purchase with like limited updates, and there was like a high barrier to its adoption because you had to deploy, get the latest version. Now, uh, that was how we kind of started with. I still remember having these big CD-ROMs and typing in those codes to get those particular softwares to run. Now that changed a little bit and quite drastically so, if I may say, when the advent of software as a service came through. Now, there were two important things that happened because of the advent of and the widespread adoption of the internet. And as internet and bandwidth access kind of increased, it was easier to go onto the cloud. Now that you had that, um, the software as a service model became a little more popular. Now, why it became more popular is because you didn't have to host all of these softwares by yourself. Um, you know, really look after the upgrades or any updates that you had to make for it. So there was a strong case of going towards the cloud, and majority of the softwares that most organizations end up using uh, tend to be a migration towards the cloud. So using software as a service. Now, for those of you who have perhaps come in from different backgrounds and are not too much familiar with the IT or the software industry, for you, it's a way to just see how you can think of software as a service is like having a car on a lease. So you've just rented a car, and the car does not belong to you, but you use it. You use all the features, you use all of its characteristics, and then once your use is done, or there are some problems, you kind of return it back, but you pay as you go. So it's kind of pay as you go model for software as a service. The main thing, as I said, was that it was cloud based, so really no installation or how well you have your hardware set up really didn't kind of matter, right? So that's where software as a service model really started to kind of shape up, and this is more like the late 2010s, the early 2010s, where you started this whole shift towards cloud based, and it's still highly prevalent. Now, when we talk about those software as a service with cloud based products, there are a few things that now will change because all the updates occur because it's on the web. It occur in the main site, and then you just use it. So that's one of the key things that happened with software as a service. Now, let's take a look at the pricing models. So now that we have at this point had a good understanding of what software as a service looked like, let's look at some of the way that these pricing works. We just now took the example of the car for the lease. So you have a monthly lease, right? So that is more like a flat rate pricing, where for single pricing, you get for a limited number of users, you just pay monthly. The other popular model, the second one, is usage-based pricing. One of the best example of usage-based pricing is that of AWS, which is Amazon Web Services. So you can use Amazon Web Services, which are their servers, for a fraction of the cost according to your own needs. So if you don't use that much, then you don't pay. That's a key advantage towards the flat rate pricing. The other is like a more of a tiered pricing. So this is something that we see quite often. There's a base version, a medium version, and a premium version. So that's where, for example, Salesforce, or if you take one of the other classes, which is Tableau, with me in data analysis, they also have a tiered model. So that's where you restrict certain features of a software, and only give certain features for a certain price range. So it's just an upgrade, simple. The other is a freemium model. That's the fourth popular one, which is you give your product out for free. So, for example, the biggest one is the messaging software called as Slack, where you can use the software for free, but for additional ones, you have to pay. If you pay close attention, you use software as service products all the time. Even if you look at Gmail, you get the service for free, but then for more storage you have to pay. So that's also an example of a freemium model. Dropbox is another example. So there are a lot of examples that you can see of how these four popular models, that is the flat rate, usage based, tiered pricing, and freemium model, are used widely. With that, we'll take a break on the SaaS products and its pricing models. But in the next module, we will try to explore a bit more about AI agents, some of the disruptions, and some of the opportunities that are coming with respect to SaaS. So look forward to seeing you in the next module.